By-elections are Thursday, one of them here in Ottawa South, and Bronwyn Funiciello is the NDP candidate in that particular riding. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
How's your campaigning going? How do you feel?
You know what? It's going really, really well.
Yeah.
I feel really great. I said, you know, a little bit tired, but very energized because we're just getting such a good, strong reception at the door. A lot of support.
Knocking on doors is the key, don't you think?
Absolutely. Talking to people.
Yeah, it's your first election of this sort, correct?
I have been a public school trustee for the past 10 years.
But this is on a bigger scale, right?
It is on a bigger scale, but I have held elected office. I have run in 3 contested elections. In fact, my very first election for public school trustee, I beat an incumbent who had held the position for 21 years.
Did you?
So campaigning is not new to me.
No.
Representation is not new to me. This is absolutely on a bigger scale, but quite frankly, I've learned so much from the community in my 10 years as school trustee that I recognize the important things that they're looking for.
Do you feel you have a pulse of what the issues are in Ottawa South in particular?
Absolutely, and I think that I've learned a lot of those also over the years as a school trustee because I think our schools really are.
So that's valuable experience to you?
Very valuable experience.
This is an interesting race, and of the 5 by-elections, one of the most interesting, not only because it's a former premier's riding, but because what has happened, you know, with the Liberal Party in general over the last little while, and it seems like there's an open door there. Is that your assessment of this riding and this election, this by-election? Absolutely.
I think a by-election always presents an opportunity. I can say that when I am out talking to people and during this election period, but also previously, there are a lot of people that are very, very disillusioned, have lost trust and confidence in the Liberal government for the types of issues that we have heard talked about so frequently. And so there is definitely a very strong appetite for change. Quite frankly, my decision to put my own name forward was because I feel that the community really, really needs to have a strong representative, somebody who will fight for them, advocate on their behalf, and someone who voters feel is truly going to represent them. And that's something that I think they have felt has been missing for quite some time at the provincial level.
You obviously feel you're the strongest candidate in this race. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in it.
Absolutely.
What do you bring, Bronwyn, that the other 2, the Liberal and PC candidates, do not?
What I bring is a track record of working very hard for the community. I bring a real sense of community, listening to the community. I've learned so much from Ottawa South over the past 10 years. I bring the ability to work with a variety of groups to really get results, to make sure that the issues and needs for Ottawa South are going to be addressed, and I have a track record of doing that at the school board. Fiscal responsibility, as a school trustee, I have overseen 10 years of balanced budgets of over $800 million, been a steward of valuable tax dollars, making sure that while we're balancing that budget, we're able to ensure that we have high quality programs and services. So while not cutting essential programs and services to student, making sure that we have priorities aligned in a way. I understand the challenges of competing priorities, but also recognize that my role is to balance those competing priorities while putting the public interest first and not just putting partisan political interest first.
Before we run out of time, I want to ask you this. It's tough enough to get people out to vote these days, it seems, in any election. Will people come out to vote in Ottawa South on Thursday in this by-election? I feel it's very important. Do they?
There are a lot of people that certainly, I think that there is going to be a good turnout. I think that the Liberal government, the timing of this by-election was deliberate to try and suppress the vote, calling it right after a long weekend, calling it to take place right before a long weekend, calling it right before the beginning of Ramadan. There are all sorts of factors that have been put in place that I think are perceived as trying to suppress that vote. But I think that voters are much smarter than that and recognize that this is a very, very valuable privilege that we have and something that you need to exercise. And I've said to people, if you don't vote, it's much harder to complain about the results.
It really
is. People do have that opportunity.
It really is, yeah. Bronwyn, I want to thank you for your time today and for a very strong campaign, and I wish you all the success in the world on Thursday.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, and thanks for coming to see us today.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Thanks very much. Thank you.